latte, get festive with an iced gingerbread chai, or share a velvety peppermint mocha. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic conditions in Wichita right now looking pretty good. The heaviest traffic I'm seeing in the Boeing area. This is MacArthur Road, east and westbound between K15 and Oliver. Traffic update from 98.7 and 1330 KNSS. In the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, I'm Jad Chambers.
Weather.
Areas of low clouds and fog this morning give way to sunshine and mild temperatures this afternoon. It's a high of 62, south wind 10 to 15. Clear and upper 30s tonight. More of the same on Tuesday. Foggy start, then a sunny finish with a high in the middle 60s. Morning fog, then mostly sunny on Christmas Eve, high 69, 75 on Christmas Day. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Hey, I'm Ted, the sports head on KFH Radio. May the shot clock never expire on your happy holidays.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey, Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily, coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. I don't know that I've ever seen LA Rams coach Sean McVay as agitated as he was after last night's shocking loss to Seattle. Then again, I'd be agitated too if I watched my team implode, possibly losing the number one seed overall in the process in a game they had already seemingly won. Then on top of that, he had to stand up there and get grilled about Puka Nacua going knucklehead yet again off the field. Speaking of which, I don't even think he made it off the field before he was in his phone, doubling down on his take about the ref show, only to delete the post shortly thereafter. Showing up and showing out on the field means nothing if it comes in a loss and you're running right to your phone as soon as it's over. To quote Dan Lanning, you're playing for wins, you're not playing for clicks. Wake the hell up, Puka. Making plays on the field isn't enough if you're going to go complete bonehead off the field. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
We've got trade wars, rising costs, skyrocketing national debt, and a potential recession looming. It's no wonder gold keeps hitting record highs with everything going on in the world. Thousands of hard-working Americans are looking to get help diversifying their savings in precious metals like gold and silver, and they're turning to the top-rated gold company, Goldco. With over 6,000 five-star customer reviews, an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, named Best for Customer Service from Money.com, and the industry's highest buyback guarantee, Goldco is a preferred precious metals company in the country. Right now, Goldco is offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you can get an unlimited instant match and bonus silver if you qualify. Find out how you can help diversify your savings, tax and penalty-free today. Call 855-969-GOLD. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult with your financial and tax professional.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Happy Christmas week, everybody. Good morning here. Welcome to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you on a Monday. We are on an abbreviated holiday week. We'll be with you today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then off for the holidays, Thursday and Friday. But excited to be with you here today. You can call in the show. Hotline's open, 869-1240. You can comment on the show, Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can also get in touch with us via the Odyssey app if you're listening to us on demand or live when you're away from your radio. You can hit the little microphone and leave us voice messages. Glad to be here with you today as we get more what we would expect otherwise in this calendar year of 2025 that's going out with a bang. More massive stories to discuss today. Over the weekend, we learned a few things. We learned that Paul Mills nearly died and has been going through some pretty serious medical things that he shared post-game last night after the big win over Eastern Kentucky. He will be with us later this morning to discuss the situation with his heart and what he's been going through the last few weeks. It is pretty crazy emotional stuff. So we'll have that for you, Shocker fans. That'll be a little bit later in this hour. The Kansas City Chiefs played a game yesterday. That's not the big news item of the day, but they did play a game yesterday. They lose to the Titans. Joshua Briscoe will be with us to discuss that. And we'll also talk to him a little bit about the big stadium situation coming and the very latest from Topeka today. Last we left you, there has been some new developments in that. So we'll take a look at that as well coming up, plus the actual football that was played by the Chiefs. College football playoff first round is in the books. All of those things happening. It's all what's on tap. Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, where groups gather for holiday fun, beers with the boys, girls' night out, or a glass of wine with a longtime friend. WBC, the place where groups gather for the holidays. East, West, and historic Delano. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. You said it best. The meme where it's like, man, I'm kind of tired living through all these historical events. That's very much the case of the last 3 weeks. I mean, we have talked about this at length, and it just keeps going. It's like, oh my gosh, this has been the craziest 2 weeks ever. Oh, the Chiefs might move to Kansas. Oh, Paul Mills nearly died 2 weeks ago. Like, what on earth is the month of December? We talked about the month of December is usually not that busy. It's only really busy because of covering a bowl game, and we don't have a bowl game, and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier as we go along. But that Paul Mills story yesterday, I mean, that is like, stop you in your tracks. Like, what did he say? And it's insane.
The old drinking out of a fire hose analogy feels appropriate. So if you didn't see what happened after the Shocker game and the situation that Paul Mills explained, and yes, he will join us a little bit later, both to talk about the non-conference and moving forward and to discuss this a little bit. After the Northern Iowa game, Coach Mills nearly had a heart attack. He had, as he called it, 100% blockage in an artery. It was really weighing him down, and we'll let him kind of explain this, but basically they were supposed to drive back from Northern Iowa. There was a snowstorm. They flew back instead, and his doctors think there was about a 30-minute window any longer before he went into the doctor, and it would have been too late. So because of that, because they flew back, because he was able to get to the doctor, they were able to get in there and get some procedures done. Look, we talked to him here on a Monday, 2 days after this. So he said he was at a doctor's office. No, he was recovering from a surgery to, get some things cleaned up to prevent him from dying. And then he coached another game with some monitors on, the DePaul game where they missed all the free throws. Are you kidding me? Stress on the heart. So just all of these things are just wild. He clearly has dedication to his team. We're very, very glad that he avoided this, but just an unbelievable story. And again, he'll go into more detail on that later this hour. But TJ, my goodness, like the fact that none of us knew this was going on is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, to keep something like that, close to the chest of it sounds like, there was a tight circle of people that knew, and nobody really knew outside of that. This isn't something that it was like rumored to be a thing. I mean, you walk in that press conference yesterday and he says he's going to start telling you a story, and you're like, where's he going with this? And then it's like, oh my gosh, like nobody had any idea that any of this was going on. And I mean, that says something about Coach Mills. That says something about his team and the people that did know to keep everything in, because in the day and age that we're in, if somebody knows something, somebody's going to tell somebody, and to, have the respect for your head coach to not do that. Have respect for, the coach of the university if you did know or anything like that. I mean, that says a lot about the situation.
We're glad he's okay. Shockers get the nice holiday break, probably good for a lot of reasons. We'll have Coach Mills later on in this hour. We'll talk about the Chiefs' latest with the stadium and kind of the outcome yesterday in the next segment. We did get the Shockers with a big win yesterday against Eastern Kentucky. That was basketball this weekend. K-State with a 30-point win over South Dakota, which is a nice development. We've seen them kind of, and assuming they win their last non-conference game, we've seen K-State sort of pick it back up here going into the conference. South Dakota, we should tell you, is not very good this year. Not one of those years where they've got a decent team, but still, we're seeing K-State, and then we see KU tonight. KU in action, and apparently Darren Peterson's on the table for this game to wrap up the non-conference for the Jayhawks. So we've got to watch for that tonight too, as we sit and hope that he's back, somewhere close to full strength for Big 12 play. I guess, TJ, that's good news to hear yesterday that that he could play tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of what they approached the situation like. I think that they were very open in the fact of saying, we don't want to shut him down. And so I think that this is more so just saying, we haven't shut him down. Will he play? Is a different story, I think. I think that they'll let it be a game time decision. If he does play, he won't play very much, I would have to imagine. But
and that's
I think
fine. That's okay, right?
And I think that this is them basically just like trying to limit the panic around the situation a little bit too. I think that they, like I said, they have openly said, we don't want to shut him down. We don't want to give him 3 weeks off before conference play because we don't think he's hurt. Like, it's just something that keeps flaring up. Like, it's not like he's, limping in practice or anything like that. It's just a matter of if this is going to happen again. And so, I think that they're going to let him play if I had to guess, but, it'll probably be 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's a game time. I would guess that he doesn't play. But we'll see tonight. And if he, they should be fine without him as they're just kind of wrapping up the non-conference schedule. So we'll have our eye on that. We'll have our eye on any news with that. Max's Patriots get a win last night over the Ravens. Did you see this in the broad? Patriots have played the softest schedule like ever, basically in this millennium. And they're taking advantage, man. They're going to try to parlay that as the Broncos lose yesterday into some home field. And Drake May, you get him in home field. You never know. But I got a bone to pick with Max's Patriots. Listen, it's fantasy football playoffs. Everybody out there knows what we're talking about. Everybody's invested in different things. My most emotionally connected league, the one that I care the most about, I've got May going. Boy, sure would have been nice if he'd have taken that last one into the end zone. Yep. Sure would have been nice if the Ravens could have made a tackle and helped with a passing touchdown at the end of the game. Now I got to sweat Monday Night Football a little bit here. A little bone to pick there with Max's Patriots and my boy Drake Bay. Can you be a first-year player, second-year player, make a mistake and take that into the end zone for me, please?
You weren't there last night. Our 32-team league championship, one of our coworkers was in it. He was down by 4 points. Then Drake May took off.
Oh, no. Is that his last
there's
player?
There's another player on the other side, so it probably wouldn't have mattered. But if he scored zero, if McCaffrey didn't score tonight, but
that's the situation I'm in. I need McCaffrey tonight to do a little something for me. Come on, May. Make the young decision. I hate this. When did guys get smart enough? Like, when did that become a part of clock? It just totally messes with fantasy football,
Just
with
score.
betting. Just go. They couldn't come back. Just go, young man. All right, we'll come back. Let's get you caught up on the Chiefs, both the stadium and performance or something like that yesterday against the Titans. We'll talk about it next on Sports Day.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story, clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back in here, everybody, to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up. How's that coffee tasted on your end today, TJ?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Real strong.
Yeah?
Really hot. Really hot.
Really
yeah.
hot. Why don't you tell everybody what you just told me during the break?
Just had a little stumble. There's some coffee spilled all over the stairs, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
So here, TJ, let's look right here. Look, you can go and right down to your local HTO, and we've got some amazing cups there with lids on them.
I didn't think I was quite to the feeble old man stage where I can't walk and hold a cup of coffee at the same time.
Not only,
but apparently I am.
Tap that lid for everybody. Not only do they keep it nice and hot because it's an insulated Yeti cup, it has a lid on it. And you don't have to worry about it. You pour a cup of coffee, you're good. That sucker will stay hot through the entirety of the show. Let's go. Let's get it together. Nobody needs you running around with hot cups of coffee. We're gonna have a McDonald's situation here. local radio host goes to hospital for hot coffee on his crotch. Like, let's go. Get it together. Get your lid on your cup. It's time. It's time. Speaking of HTO, go by this week. Get you a free cup of tea. Text the keyword tea right now to 20357. That's the code word. You can get a free cup of tea while you're in on us. Last minute gift cards, last minute stocking stuffers like coffee cups with lids on them, TJ, and all the new great drink varieties. Go to HTO, East Wichita, West Wichita, and in Derby. Those free teas are good for. Good luck, everybody. All right, we come back. Chiefs play yesterday. Look, we didn't know what to expect. Then we see the number of players that are out for the Chiefs. It was a long one, and they get dominated by the Titans. But Gardner Minshew goes down. Was that the opening drive? He was hurt.
3 plays into the game.
You're going into the game. No Patrick Mahomes, of course. No Leo Chenal. No Trent McDuffie. No Jalen Moore. No Rashee Rice. No Jawan Taylor. No Tyquan Thornton. And no Najee Johnson. No Derek Nottie. That's who you don't have going in. Then you lose Gardner Minshew, your second string quarterback. It was a nice, time in Kansas City. Feel terrible for him. He won't be back now next year. There's no chance. So Tennessee goes on to win it 26-9. That's a situation where you have an NFL roster playing against basically a preseason roster. And if not a preseason roster, some preseason motivations. The Chiefs just didn't have anybody to play in that game. They didn't run a lot of plays because nothing was really effective. We got to see a lot of Kuhn. Okay. That's not going to be the answer. I'm glad he's there. I think he helps them practice, but
it's Oladukin.
Oladukin. So here's Oladukin, a lot of Kuhn, a load of Kuhn.
I promise you.
Oladukin. No, I believe you. I think I 100% think you're on it. I agree. You have it. But I am telling you, I've heard this guy's name pronounced 36 different times since he came up in training camp, both in the preseason. I'm watching Red Zone and the Chiefs on my 2-screen setup. Scott Hansen, who is incredible, everybody that watches Red Zone knows that, is saying a Lodican or a Lodican. You've got Oladukin, which is correct. Yes. I probably say it different every time I say it.
You
do. Because I can't ever it can't ingrain into my head. And we've got a real problem because he's going to be the quarterback for the next 2 games here.
I actually had a visceral reaction when you came into work last night and you said, "So help me with the pronunciation." And he's like, "Is it?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's either Olodukun or Oladukin." Oladukin or Oladokin is what I said. I was like, it's either Oladukin or Oladokin. And you're like, well, I've heard that it's Oladukin. And I was like, what did you just say out loud?
No, not Oladukin. It's a lot of Kuhn, I believe, is what was being said. Yeah, I'm telling you, and I don't know because I was at the audio of Red Zone in the video, so I don't know what they were saying on the television broadcast yesterday. I was hearing it on Red Zone, but watching it on on KWCH on the other side. But I've heard it so many different ways over the last, what is this, year 3 for him? It's I'm like, come on, we got to get this. We all got to come together and get this right.
We're gonna the official Sports Daily. We did this with Rashee Rice when he got drafted as well. I know that this turned into a thing of Rashee versus Rashee. And I still don't know that one, honestly.
Exactly. We don't know whether it's Bijan or Bajan.
That's a whole thing, too. But Oladukin is the official Sports Daily pronunciation.
Didn't we go through this with Kelsey? Kelsey or Kels?
Kels. Yeah, that was 10 years into his career. He decided to bring that up.
What are we doing here? Anywho, wasn't a terrible performance for him, but he was okay. It was the Chiefs. Look, 133 yards of offense. I don't know what anybody expected. I mean, for the draft pick or bust crowd, this was sort of the approach you wanted the Chiefs to take, right? No risks. If guys aren't ready to go, don't play them. The outcome for the Broncos yesterday, I think, was good for the Chiefs to know that Denver's going to play their dudes next week and really needing to be winning that game after they lose to the Jaguars in the game of frauds. It's so funny how much that bothers some people when I continue to just stupidly and stubbornly pretend like those aren't two good teams. Of course they are. But it's, the Jaguars get the big win, 34-20 on the road at Denver. So now Denver, with a 12-3 record, has something to play for next week. So you have to assume that they're going to bring it against a depleted Chiefs roster. That's good news for the draft pick crowd, right? Like that's what you want. Like if this thing is going to go up in flames, if you're a Chiefs fan, just get the best pick that you can get.
It's really weird. The Chiefs talk about this, and we've talked about the players and the motivations and everything like that. And they're talking about the fact of like, we want to win football games, and there's an argument even to be made about winning the last couple games and riding some sort of momentum rather than just stumbling across the finish line and just scrapping it all and tearing it down in the offseason. Like it's the reason that college coaches talk about winning a bowl game is a big deal for the next season, basically to get that good taste in your mouth and going into the next year. And it's coach talk and it's player talk, but I think there's a little bit of truth to it. I think that they actually do believe that, but it's so weird of like, what should you root for if you're
I think you're talking about two different things. What should you root for? If you're a Chiefs fan, you probably just want the better pick. No. But they're going to play to win, and they should. Like, Travis Kelce may be done after this year. He's not going to just roll over. Andy Reid is a coach. Like, he doesn't want to lose games, but at the same time, you're realistic, right? You don't want to put guys who aren't at 100% where they might play and be willing to take the risk. Like, you don't take the risk right now. You get healthy. You let guys be healthy 100%. So, I mean, that's the game you're playing, right? They don't have enough healthy guys to go win these games, whether they're motivated or not. You're not like that roster is not going to go win an NFL football game. I don't know if all of those guys are going to be out again next week against the Broncos. You'd like to think it probably doesn't matter against the Broncos. And then it becomes in that final game against the Raiders. Like, what do you know? Are you telling me right now? And here's the thing too, with fans, are you telling me right now you're a Chiefs fan, it's Christmas Day, you wouldn't love to see a Lottekin get a win over the Broncos?
I know, like that's what I'm saying. Like
that would be awesome, and everybody would embrace it and be like, to hell with the draft pick. Who cares? Let's beat the Broncos on Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course,
100%. I agree, especially because it's the Chiefs too. I think it's just they're wired that way. I think if you're
not
Titans,
going for the number 1 pick, it's a difference on whether you're pick 10 or pick 12, which matters. But you're like, nobody's thinking about that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm team root for wins. I don't care.
I'm team root for a Lottekin. See
nobody
if
else
quarterback next year. Like, why not?
Yeah. Did you see
what
yesterday?
Do we do? Oladukin.
Oladukin. Yes, there you go.
Now it's Oladukin.
That's what I said earlier. Oladukin. It's a U, I think. Oladukin.
It is a U. I looked it up last night, and your emphasis on the syllables is correct.
Syllables, yeah. Anyways, while we still in the Chiefs segment here, did you see yesterday the Mike Garofalo NFL Network reported that Andy Reid will not retire after the season?
Yeah, that's a big development, and a good one, I think, if you're Chiefs fans. Mostly, there are some out there that think like, oh, it's time for. I'm like, you guys are nuts. In this league, over 14, 15 years, he's missed the playoffs this time. Like, get out of here with all of that. Like, this is a guy who is, top.
I am speaking
3 to 5 of coaching all time.
Yeah. On the coaching decisions here, I want to bring this up, and I'll talk to Josh Briscoe about this as well. I saw somebody on social media. I can't remember who posted it. Sorry for your credit. They pointed out yesterday, if you look at the box score, Jalen Royals and Brashard Smith did not touch the football in a game that means nothing. Like the rookies still aren't, getting their preseason reps. You know what I'm saying? And like, is there something to be said about the fact of like Juju got a bunch of targets and like all of these guys that don't really mean a ton to the future as much as these rookies do? Like, does that say something about the rookies? Does that say something about the decision to not trust the rookies? Does that say something about the coaching? What do you think? That's nothing, I think.
There's 3 games left. They're still trying to win the games. And if you were going to win that game yesterday, it was going to be because you ran the ball a bunch. So I think that's why you saw them try that early with, but they didn't run a lot of plays. First of all, like what did they run? 30 plays. Like they just never really had the ball. Brashard Smith is never going to be a player that lines up and totes the rock a bunch of times. No. So I don't know what would the gripe be on that. That doesn't do anybody any good. That's not what he's going to be. he's going to be exactly what he was this year. So there's some like you're not going to go put that guy in a position to get hurt. I think with Royals, man, I wish I could tell you. It just tells me probably he's so far behind in his development, I guess. I'm not sure what's going on there with him because he's going to be a part of the roster next year, but he's just not playing at all. So I'm not sure with him what's happening. But they're not quite to the point yet where they're just going to that may happen. It probably won't happen this week. It'll probably happen against the Raiders if it's going to happen. The Chiefs are going to try to win the game against the Broncos. That's what's going to happen. We're not to the end of the year yet. The last week of the season, we'll see. This week, their best players are going to play in this game against Denver, and I don't have a problem with that. You're not gonna raise the white flag with 3 weeks to play. And look around the NFL. Nobody is doing that, by the way. Like these fans are asking the Chiefs to do something that literally no team in the NFL is doing right now. Did you watch the Dolphins yesterday? Did they have Devin Achane and Jalen Waddle on ice? Of course they didn't. And they have nothing to play for, basically. Did you see, like, their games across it? Nobody's doing that yet. Maybe at the end of the season. So why would the Chiefs? Oh, there's 3 weeks left. Let's just mail it in, boys. Let's not play any of our good players. That's the stupid. No, nobody does that.
Okay.
You going to Christmas Day? You're not gonna be pissed off as a fan if you're going to Christmas Day watching a second half preseason team out there.
I agree. There's the NBA argument to make here about load management and that type of thing as well. I'm with you on the fact of if you're watching a game, I want to watch the good guys. But anyways, I think also the other big storyline we haven't talked about here while we're still talking Chiefs. The Minshew ACL we brought up, and it sucks for him because he was on a 1-year deal, so he's not coming back, basically. That is not insignificant because of the fact of Mahomes, like, he's not going to be there for training camp. He's not going to be there for the preseason, probably. There's a real chance that he's not there for the week 1, even though people are starting to say that. Like, there's a real chance it could be in the middle of the season he comes back. Nobody knows still. We don't know that answer, but, like, everything was just saying, yeah, well, Minshew can maybe just get you done. Like, this will be the audition for Gardner Minshew. And now it's like, do you go get, like, you're going to have to, I think, unless you want to let Olajuwon be quarterback 2, which he hasn't been in his 3 years he's been for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, do you go get a veteran guy to help out while in the interim? Like, what do you do about that? Because now they're like, they're in a pinch. Like, they have 2 quarterbacks with torn ACLs.
Well, yes, you have to go get a veteran quarterback. The Chiefs are going to try to win those early games without Mahomes. Like, that'll be the goal. And so, yes, they have to go get a quarterback. It's not going to be Minshew. Minshew won't be healthy enough to help them. So it's not going to be Minshew. It's a bummer. Sucks for him. I hate that. I like Gardner Minshew. They're going to have to go they're now in the market for a quarterback. And it could be a quarterback. Like, you can't just slough that off because, yes, that quarterback, when you're trying to win a Super Bowl next year, right, is potentially going to have to start 4, 6, who knows how many games. Could be 0, but they still have to get you through camp.
You always go get a backup quarterback that is good enough to play in the event that they have to play, obviously, because, backup quarterbacks are important. If they're on the field, something happened. Like, they are going into the season thinking about, like, this is not an if. Like, you are going to play football for our franchise next year. I think. We'll see what Mahomes does. But probably. Like,
they are, because they're going to have to get you through the offseason and training camp and all those things. Mahomes isn't going to be back for training camp. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, this person needs to have what would be really interesting is, do they, for the first time, I believe in the Mahomes era, do they draft a young quarterback? Do they go find their Matt Castle? Do you find somebody that can sit back and, learn and be it? Maybe. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at this point, to go find somebody of that, of that skill set either. But it'll be hard to imagine they don't just go get a veteran of who's your Mac Jones this year, right? Like, that would be, it's what they've always done. They've done it with Carson Wentz. They've done it with Matt Moore. They've done it with Chad Henne. Now they've done it with Gardner Minshew. That's what they always do anyway. So I would just expect them to do it again and have somebody now that could potentially start a few games for them next year.
Yeah, that's kind of what you have to do at this point. But I brought this up last night. What kind of black cat walking under ladders, voodoo magic did the Chiefs get to have 2 quarterback torn ACLs in back-to-back drives at that? Not even games. It was the last drive and the first drive.
Yeah, it's been that kind of year, and for a franchise that hasn't had a lot of bad luck in a decade, it could just be piling up on them. But it happened. There are teams right now. Look at the Lions yesterday and the bad luck they've had this year, and the injuries that they've had this year, and the circumstances that have put them. I mean, it just happens.
The Chiefs last year were literally the luckiest team in football, and I mean,
absolutely,
one score games will prove that to you, and that's what there's a lot of luck that goes into one score games, and they were the best team in football about it, and immediately it swings the other way. It's the law of averages coming back down to 50-50 here.
Well, the league itself is that way anyway, right? The league itself is that razor tight, and that's where like having Mahomes gives you such an advantage because he's just better in the tight spots than anybody else has, recently. And so, yeah, you mask a lot of deficiencies that way. But between Mahomes and Reed and this year sucks, and be as mad about this year as you want to be. That's great. But I think there is some overreaction to big picture, like organizationally. It's the first time they've missed the playoffs in like 14 years, people. Like whatever it is, like just chill a minute here and let's see if they can bounce back. Like I think they have shown us in this body of work in the Mahomes era that there's a pretty good chance they'll be good next year. Let's see what happens here.
I made the joke earlier last week about, hey, sorry, Mom, can't be home for Christmas. Got to go watch Gardner Minshew play in Arrowhead that night.
No, you don't.
Sorry, Mom. Got to go watch Chris Oladukin play.
Chris O. Can we call him Chris O? Let's just go with Chris.
Let's just go with Chris. It's like
Chris.
Prince
Chris is gonna crush the souls of the Broncos on Christmas Day. All right, we'll come back. We should have Paul Mills. He's got a story to tell. We'll do it next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Let's do this thing. Go!
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Sports Talk on KFH, presented by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. We are joined now by Wichita State head men's basketball coach Paul Mills. We'll talk a little hoops after, Coach. We are very glad you're here with us here this morning. Going through some stuff that you shared with us yesterday after the game that is pretty frightening, pretty alarming. I know a lot of people out there can very personally connect to the story that you told, but we're glad you're here with us. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you. You know, a couple of weeks ago when we visited, I told you I was at the doctor, which
that was the first thing we said.
Which was true, but it's good that I covered up the camera because you didn't need to see me in a hospital gown. It's not a very pleasant sight, but you know, it's one of those situations where I think, especially as guys, you're just like, all right, I'm tough enough. I can fight through this. And if there's a hiccup somewhere along the way, and I probably got about a 30-minute window to kind of play with. That, I mean, even when my wife and I were sitting in the waiting room there at Wesley, after we had sat there for about 15 minutes, I just said, let's go home. I am perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong. I just need to sleep. And you kind of your brain's convincing you that everything's okay. And so what I really wanted to do yesterday was just share with people that when those situations come up, because again, I would just ignore whether it be physicals or in this particular instance, something that was happening internally, and you just thought, you know what, I can sleep this off. I'll be okay. I just really encourage people to go get that stuff checked. Obviously, when we were flying back, I was Googling, you know, what does pain on the left side of your chest mean? And they said, hey, there's a 10% chance this could be a heart issue, but you need to get it crossed off the list because they listed a host of other things that could bring about this kind of pain on the left side. And I'm glad I did. I'm very fortunate. Again, I mean, a cardiac team was already being assembled and I'm at the hospital when an event happens. The vast majority of people who go through hard experiences do not have that luxury, and consider myself very blessed and grateful. But I would my encouragement to everybody is when these kind of scenarios come up, like, don't hesitate. It's not worth a little bit of ego in order to sacrifice what's most important.
Coach, I think that the biggest takeaway that we got from the press conference, I mean, between a winter storm advisory going on, a game that went into overtime as well, which delayed you guys getting home. I mean, between that, trying to stay, you were going to go home. I mean, the amount of different things that could have affected the outcome and made it such a more solemn event, as you said. I mean, it feels like almost a miracle that everything lined up the perfect way for you to be at Wesley when something happened.
Yeah, trust me, I truly believe God's hand was on me. I'm grateful for that. And, even the 7-point lead at halftime at UNI helped, because there was, if I would have did at halftime what I did at Colorado State, I probably just, would have had something. My heart, when one day these pictures will get revealed, but it is like my heart's getting zero blood flow from my right coronary artery. And when I notice it is after the game. So we think it's been about 6 hours, and you're teetering. If your heart goes 6 hours, which is why they told my wife, they said, we are not sure about his quality of life. His heart's gone without blood and thus oxygen for a 6-hour period. And again, if there's a variety of things that had to occur in order for me to wind up at a hospital with Dr. Asim Farhat, who, those people at Wesley Medical, they're working on Christmas Day. Those nurses are smiling. I was up walking around that evening, that Sunday night. Like I said, I felt like a new person. That pain in my chest had been lifted. And you would walk by the rooms, and there's some people who are dealing with serious issues that their recovery isn't going to be as quickly as mine. But those nurses show up with a smile. They show up with a great deal of empathy. And I'm just so thankful for the number of people who make sacrifices on Christmas morning, because it's not a pleasant place to be, and just really, really have a heart of gratitude.
They do it every day. Every single day they do it.
Every day.
In the height of emotions. So, Coach, clean bill of health. You had the procedure done. Are you good to go?
Zero issues. I use this analogy. It's like having a shower with very little water pressure. They come in remodel, and you get this extreme water pressure all of a sudden, and they added additional shower heads. So you just walk out of the shower feeling cleaner than what you did in previous situations. So feel absolutely fantastic. Kim Mulkey, who I know pretty well, she had a similar procedure. Bill Self, the head coach at South Carolina. And so I'm like, man, there's a correlation between national championships and these kind of heart procedures. So that's what's next on my to-do list.
There you go, Coach. I'll just ask about it. It sounds like you already gave the answer there, but Bill Self has a stint, and obviously it's a little different, but he has stints inserted, and there's a lot of speculation about it. Is Bill Self done coaching and everything like that?
Yeah.
You're only 53, I believe, is what the number was. You said you feel younger than you probably ever have right now. Was there ever in that week of the DePaul game? Was there ever the question of like, am I going to have to stop coaching? What was that like?
Well, I will tell you, after the game at UNI, I didn't know what it was. I didn't think it was heartburn, simply because I hadn't eaten since 2:00, and that was a salad. I thought maybe it was an anxiety attack. And I've heard about these. I've never experienced. And I'm like, I'm getting out of this profession. Like, if you're this anxious over a game, usually after a game, I'm extremely energized. If you lose, what do we need to do in order to fix this? And if you win, you're like, what's next? So I've coached in plenty of big games, and I just never had this feeling. So that was, listen, if I go to the doctor and they tell me this is an anxiety attack, I'm done. Like, I need to find something else to do. So fortunately, for a professional standpoint, that wasn't it. But again, like, I mean, this is one of those things where you actually feel better because a drain was clogged and was getting zero water. And now all of a sudden they've gone in, they've cleared it, and now you get this water flow. So you actually feel way more energized than I did prior to the event.
My dad was about your age when he had his first round of these things, and he just had his 80th birthday. So
that's awesome.
You'll be good to go. Here's what I got to know.
Yeah.
As everything, like the dust settles and everything, we look back, like the team obviously knew what was going on.
Yeah.
When they're sitting there in the DePaul game missing free throws, do you think in any of their heads they're looking over like, guys, like we got it, like we're gonna hurt like we gotta like maybe that's a little of the anxiety there. Like
well, trust me, I'm sitting there going, guys, I told you about this event on Friday. We shared it with the team. I showed them the photos of before and after and just said, man, this is like running a marathon. Like a person who runs a marathon, they're plenty capable. They just can't run a marathon 3 days later. And I'm like, I'm fine, but I don't know just about my stamina right now. There may be a time where I have to leave. Don't sweat it. I've got people and we've got doctors here and I'm going to be okay. We had prepped the staff. Everything was ready to go. So I'm sitting there as we're missing free throws. I'm like, guys, I told you about my condition. Is this intentional? Like, I mean, like, are you mad about some earlier decisions? So like, what are we doing here? And I've got on heart monitors and my heart rate's being monitored remotely. And they said, listen, the highest it got was when you're in that 1 for 7 era there in the last, he says, your heart. And I usually pride myself. I take tremendous pride in being extremely calm in the chaos. Like I am a clear thinker. I am calm. I'm not going to get caught up in the emotion of this moment. Like if you were to measure people's heart rates in this arena when the chaos is going, like I'm going to register the lowest because my blood runs cold. And so I'm a little disappointed my heart rate got up, but come to find out it's a little understandable.
Instant feedback. I remember on that DePaul game, I was texting Taylor Eldridge and I was like, man, why is Mills sitting on a stool? Mills is such a stander and a leaner and usually looks like a nervous wreck over there. And he's just sitting on a stool. I was like, something must have happened. I don't know what this is. And kind of just joking around. It turns out that it was actually a whole thing. Coach, I'll ask you about basketball before we let you go. Obviously a big win yesterday against Eastern Kentucky. The Colonels in town. The offense, a lot of good shots. Karan Boyd, a lot of 3-pointers. It felt like the earlier parts of the season when the offense was really starting to click for us. Did that feel like that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought that our week of preparation, our week of practice was phenomenal. I mean, that's what you always want, especially after a game like the previous Saturday. We need to respond the right way. And to be honest with you, these last 2 weeks are a little tricky with finals going up and taking days off. And then you have this Christmas break that everybody knows is coming. And you can get guys not thinking about the right things. And, as I texted the team last night, I thought their focus was tremendous. We did everything we needed to do. It wasn't clean basketball, but there were some moments of really clean basketball. And, I just felt like in previous years, we hadn't had much motivation going into conference. The 2 years ago, we lost to Kansas State and to Kansas. Last year, we played a game against Friends prior to going to conference, and we were sloppy. I thought yesterday was cleaner, and I thought our guys had tremendous focus. So we're excited about getting started for conference.
And it's 2 road games. I'm sure you've let this team know how the start of conference has gone. It's a totally new group for the most part. Motivation, I would imagine, won't be hard to find to get out to a hot start in conference play this year.
Yeah, it's a new season. Everybody knows it's a new season for everybody, and kind of the turn of the calendar. There's a lot of newness to it. And so, again, with 12 new guys, I don't know that I need to remind them of the 2 previous years. I say all of that to say, like, I think the freshness of the season and the year will be ready to go.
There you go. As you guys get ready to go here, now everything kind of breaks up. How long are the guys home for? What does Christmas look like for a basketball program?
Yeah, they'll leave today. I think several of them had 5:30 a.m. flights, and they get to be with their families so at some point today. And then 23rd, 24th, 25th, everybody's back here on the night of the 26th, and then we'll be regroup and we'll fly out sometime on the 30th and go get to Alabama in order for a 3 p.m. tip on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve in Birmingham, Alabama. That's what everybody always talks about. You want to be in Birmingham
absolutely.
for New Year's. And then you guys are back home January 7th and 11th. So it'll be a little while before we get you back at Charles Koch Arena. Coach, Merry Christmas. We're glad it's a great Christmas, probably the best one ever. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, and get those physicals, guys.
Get it done. Coach Paul Mills, we will talk to you again after the holiday.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Wichita State head coach Paul Mills. The Shockers winners yesterday, big winners, 88-57. The Karan Boyd game. My son will be happy. Boyd's his favorite player for no particular reason, but it's a good one. I'm a Karan Boyd fan too, so we'll see him after the holiday.
Anecdote before we leave here. Coach Mills, he's telling the truth. He joined from a hospital bed. We didn't realize 2 days after a surgery. I texted him yesterday making sure he was all good. He texted me, thanks, DJ. Thanks for the thoughts. Are we good for 7:40 tomorrow morning? That's the most Paul Mills thing of all time.
I'm telling you. I was just like, oh, no problem, coach. That waiting rooms suck. I think I even said that. Yeah, waiting rooms suck. We've all been there, right? We'll come back another hour of Sports Daily next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Daily here on KFH. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. Glad to be with you. We'll talk some Chiefs in this hour. Joshua Briscoe joining. We've got to get the latest on a stadium situation, as well as what happened yesterday and some of the narratives being formulated after fans continue to be angry at the way this season has gone. It's all what's on tap for you here, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, now pouring the brand new seasonal Bach Lager. Bach, yeah, a cold beer that'll give you a warm feeling. Bach Lager available at all 3 WBC brew pubs, east near Central and Woodlawn, west at 13th and Tyler, and in historic Delano and Handley. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. Good time to go. People are in town for the holidays, so get out there and check it out. I'm ready for my Christmas Day. We're here for Christmas, and then sometimes our Christmas Day tradition, TJ, Chinese food on Christmas. There's a little spot out by the airport that we go to every year.
The Christmas Story?
Yeah, kind of. We don't get the goose on the table. Like, I get it to go, but there was a year we were here and I had to pick up my mother-in-law from the airport, and I was like, oh, let's just grab some Chinese food on the way home. And there's a little place right out by the airport. I think it's called Lee's. Shout out to them. Unsolicited. And so I drive out there every Christmas. After we open presents, everybody gets settled. I drive out, we grab some. That's what we do every Christmas. Kind of fun. Kind of fun tradition. Hope everybody's getting ready for some fun Christmas traditions. I'm ready. I know you are too, TJ. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Ready to just kind of unplug for a few days, a little bit.
Very much so. Very much so. We have lived through the Armageddon of sports breaking news stories in the last couple of weeks. So I'm excited to recap. I mean, I'm sitting here on Monday, December 22nd. As soon as the show ends, I'm going to start driving to Topeka. Like that, we're having another one of those days.
Yep, and hopefully this is the last one of them, which is a potential Chiefs are coming to Kansas announcement. And we'll have more on that. Whether we talk a lot about that with Joshua Briscoe or more about the Chiefs, we'll have more on that before we end this show. to get you all caught up, because things happened Friday after we left the air that add another wrinkle to the equation. So
it's almost to the point now where it is like it's a big deal that they're coming to Kansas, obviously, but it's almost a big deal of the saga is going to end. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, it's hopefully until a dotted line is signed, like I'm just still observing to see. One more NFL game tonight, the 49ers Colts, plenty to play for, obviously, for both of these teams. Should be a pretty fun one. Phillip Rivers round 2. Some big winners, some big losers yesterday. I thought the Chargers and maybe like the Panthers, TJ, had the biggest wins. But here the Chargers sit at 11-4 despite all their injuries. They went into Dallas. Dallas wasn't eliminated yet, and they crushed the Cowboys. Kind of interesting to see that. Denver with a loss there to the Jags, not totally out of the woods. Chiefs fans, you could really ruin the Broncos' Christmas. So there's all the motivation you need right there. That's a rough day for the Denver Broncos.
It is. That'd be a very Denver fashion. If they lose to the Chiefs, would that open the door for the Chargers?
I believe it does. Yeah. I mean, they'll both be at that point in they'd both have 4 losses going into whatever it is the Chargers have on Sunday. Let's see who the Chargers close with. Yeah. Then that's what I thought. They finished the season. The Chargers visit Denver. So
do they play one more time?
Yeah. It could be right there. I mean, it could be right there where the Chargers could still win the division. So Chiefs fans, get ready.
I don't want to keep beating the dead horse here, but I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, I remember telling people back in like August of like, man, like I'm going to that Christmas Day game. Like that might be the AFC West Championship game. Like that's going to be a big one. Nope. Chris Oladuka's playing.
And I'm looking right now, and this is not healthy for me to do. Like, I'm like, oh, Brett Veach is trending. Why is Brett Veach trending? And I go in there, and people like, he didn't really draft Mahomes. What has he even done? Like, what's he even done?
You think I'm crazy when I bring these to the table?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I just don't choose to live there.
It's all I freaking see. I feel like now that X has the algorithm where it's not even you're following, like it'll spin you stuff that you want to see. I mean, I am so deep in the woods of people like the burner accounts, and everybody has something to complain about. Something like I know every complaint and moan of every single fan right now.
I know, and I understand the vacuum that is social media. I get it. I know and I understand what success breeds and brings, but man, like to not have any, and you get on to me for this, like it's fine to be disappointed in this year, but we can't rewrite history because we're mad at this season. Like you can't do that. And to have like no perspective on the run, whether the run is done and it like never happens again or not, which is more likely, like have just a little bit of perspective on what it's been like the last decade, and to have lost that. And a guy like your age, you don't really recall what it was like before, but you just don't get to do that in the NFL. Like it's really, really hard. I'm a Cowboys fan. Like I got it when I was a kid, and I've never had it for 30 years since then. Like the Chiefs have been to 5 flipping Super Bowls. Nobody involved has done a bad job. Nobody. You don't go to 5 Super Bowls when your coach and GM don't do a good job. Like it doesn't happen.
The thing is that you can't, like, there's a way that you can buck the trend a little bit if you don't make the right decisions or something like that. And there's, reason to complain about some things that have happened over the stretch that have gotten them to, the point where they could have a bad year this type of season. But the thing is that if you have that much sustained success over a decade, you probably should just keep trying the things that you've tried and not go crazy. And they had to when they traded Tyreek Hill. But outside of that, just say, yeah, let's just do what we did when we won the Super Bowls. Like, let's just try that again. And if it doesn't work, then you may have to change. But they're doing it the right way. You have to say, hey, this got us the big trophy at the end of the year. Let's do exactly what we did. Let's bring the exact same team back and try it again.
All they've done since trading Tyreek Hill is go to 3 Super Bowls. I mean, like, what are we doing here? Like, they got lucky with Tyreek Hill. That's the only good thing they've done. No, they've missed on some early picks in the draft. they've hit on some mid-round picks in the draft that have become all pros. Like you got to take it all as a total package here and understand the reasons and, that they do the things that they've done and why did they reach on some players, because they didn't need a lot. And they were like, well, let's just reach on a guy because we feel pretty good about the roster. I look at like the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman right now is God's gift to general managing, if you listen to what anybody says, and he's really good at what he does. They're 10-5, everybody. They had a year where they didn't even make the playoffs. They had one of the most epic collapses we've ever seen in the NFL. He's genius. Like it's silly. You have to look at a total body of work. There's nobody that's going to get every draft pick right. Everybody's going to miss draft picks. Everybody's going to make a trade that doesn't work out in their favor. Everybody's going to sign a contract that wasn't the best contract. Guess what? The Chiefs win with a total body of work because they've been able to do a lot of things collectively. There were years, they've had Mahomes and Kelsey. That's awesome. There's a lot of years the defense let him in there. There are drafts that a defense was totally rebuilt. Like, to be so revisionist, to only focus on what has happened this year. And if you want to tell me that last year, like, get out of town with last year, they made the dang Super Bowl. Like, it blows my mind that people are having these conversations now. Like, 2 years from now, okay. If next year goes poorly, fine. Right now, this is the first time they haven't made the playoffs in forever, and the circumstances surrounding this year have been tough.
Yeah.
Let's watch them play a third place. Let's watch them play a third place schedule next year and see what happens.
That's very interesting to see what that's going to look like. I'm with you. I think that it's true. The fact of, like, you can I think that you can have your gripes. There's okay to gripe about some decisions because every GM misses stuff. Like, and you can gripe about that. That's fine. But to say we got a clean house, like, and people think they should fire Andy Reid. Like,
I know. I've seen it, and I'm like, guys, Philadelphia made that mistake. You've got to get out of here with that.
Every other team in the National Football League looks at Kansas City and says, "Man, we want it to look like that." And Kansas City fans are saying, "Scrap this, throw it away. It doesn't work anymore."
And it comes from success. I listen. I get it. It comes because you've known nothing else but winning every time you go out. Like, it is wild though to in a year where the circumstances have just been terrible this year in a lot of ways. And they have, Brett Beach isn't the one out there with, penalties on every special teams play or missing field goals or doing like the things that they still should have probably, Mahomes' injury aside, obviously at this point, but up until that point, they probably should have still been a playoff team. The players made a ton of mistakes. Let's be real honest about this. Kelsey's dropped some balls. Mahomes has missed a lot of throws this year. Harrison Butker is not very good anymore. Like, these little things, the penalties, like, this is not like the players deserve 80% of the blame on this stuff. They haven't played well at too many times this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think those reasons you just listed off, you could even find a backdoor excuse about, like, Will Mahomes missed a lot of throws because the line was, but like the penalties, like, they're one of the most undisciplined teams in football this year, and
that has to change. That is a problem, and that better be a top focus this offseason. I don't know how you fix that. We'll talk to Joshua Briscoe about it when we come back. We'll get into the Chiefs. We'll get into the stadium stuff. What's next? What does this look like on Sports Daily?
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
is Sports Daily on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
Joined right now by Joshua Briscoe, Chiefs Radio Network pre- and post-game, looking for all the fun stuff to talk about over the next 3 weeks, digging deep to find those stories for us. Josh, this is uncharted territory for a lot of people, and you're going to have to find it. You've got a Christmas Day game to get hyped up for against the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs can deliver the greatest lump of coal of all time to the Denver Broncos. Let's go.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to give you writing credits in the post-game or pregame show credits, but I may be taking that, yeah, because that is where we're at right now. We're at Christmas puns and looking to the future, And a lot of the stuff that we talked about pregame yesterday was about how important I thought that game could be for Gardner Minshew and his ability to lead the team through the offseason. And then we got a few plays into that game before he slides funny, hobbles around, and obviously the reports so far have been that they are fearing that it's a torn ACL and the quarterback carousel continues to spin for these next several months. Nothing else to say about the 9-point offensive performance or the defense having its issues. I mean, that is as high on the list of games to forget from the last decade of Chiefs football as I can remember.
First of all, can you help me put Jacob in his place? How do you say Chris Blank's last name?
I have been saying, and I think correctly saying Oladokin.
Oladokin. Okay, so it's
For-
not Oladukin.
I don't know. I prefer
it's one of those two. We started off the show with Jacob calling him Oladokin, so
No,
we're
I
making
started
strides.
off saying I don't know. First of all. Second of
you
all,
and Jeffrey Simmons both, I think.
Yeah. So Hansen on Red Zone yesterday was saying, I think he was saying Oladokin. So I was like, okay,
Yes.
I had it right because I thought it was Oladokin. You're saying Oladokin. TJ's saying, what are you saying?
I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
go Oladokin. Oladokin is the new official pronunciation of sports.
I hear Oladokin. Do you guys ever play Street Fighter?
Yes.
I hear Oladokin, and I think of Ken and Ryu's fireball that they sent.
100%. I also we have said his name so many times, so many different ways that I was saying it. I think like you were, Jacob, like when he was like originally signed to the practice squad or out there in training camp the first time. And at some point, I learned that it's not Chris Hadouken, and so I think we've got it. Go Goku.
We'll make some calls. We'll make some calls to our South Dakota people and get this thing squared away.
Big 19.
Anyway.
Yeah, Chris O. Chris O sounds great.
Chris. Anyways, speaking of the quarterback carousel that you brought up, now that we're at the point now, it's for a lot of people it would be significantly less significant if your backup quarterback tore his ACL, but for the Chiefs, Gardner Minshew might have played football next year, like meaningful football next year, and now Gardner Minshew probably won't be in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, not only in those first few weeks or however long the recovery timeline takes, because obviously that's up in the air a little bit. Like Rick Burkholder said, it's a 9-month recovery window, give or take a month or two on either side, all of that. Not only do the Chiefs probably need someone, certainly they need someone who you could trust the first 4 to 6 games of the season with. And in a worst case scenario, there's some sort of setback, it takes longer, whatever. You don't want to rush Mahomes back, obviously. So you need to have a legitimate, in every sense of the word, backup plan. The other thing, though, that again we talked about a bunch during pregame, and I talked about some later last week, was that you also need a quarterback. Look, every Chiefs fan wants offensive changes. Everybody wants a new wrinkle, maybe a new coach here or there, a new coordinator, whatever. Like I've seen the tweets, I've heard the wish lists. I am not Santa Claus, but I'm checking the lists here. If you want offensive changes in 2026, those are getting installed and those are being committed to in training camp in St. Joe. And look, against all odds, maybe our boy CO has been in the system long enough to be a guy who is actually that bridge quarterback, but I really think you want that to be the guy who you are also okay seeing through the first few weeks of the season if necessary. And so you want to have a quarterback who, there's not going to be a Camp Mahomes in Dallas this year. There's not going to be the opportunity in all likelihood to see Mahomes in St. Joe running the offense, potentially, almost certainly, with some new pass catchers, maybe without Travis Kelce. If it's not Travis Kelce and it's not Patrick Mahomes, who's the veteran voice in the offense to keep everybody lined up and to get all of those new installs put into place over the course of OTAs and mini camps and eventually training camps. So I don't want to overreact because they will figure it out. And there are I looked last night, there are a couple of veteran quarterbacks who are going to be free agents who might be the guys that would fit the mold for not very much money, who could be a vet with some experience to kind of get through the desert of what these next 9 months could look like from the quarterback position. But it's kind of bleak, and I think the best case scenario is overstating it. I think it would have been nice to see Mahomes to see Minshew finish out this season strong, have some confidence that he can be your guy to bridge that over, not just for the first few weeks of the season, but through the offseason when you need a quarterback to lead those programs. right now, Chris Oladokun, which I'm pretty sure is how you say his name, he's the first in line to be the guy to lead that group. And that's kind of scary because it feels like, 8 days ago, he was a full-time practice squad scout team quarterback who everybody seems to really, really respect. And that's if there's a tough way to earn a living as a practice squad player in the NFL, that he's really had to handle a lot of stuff in that role. I'm just not sure you want him being the guy who's starting a new chapter of the offense this offseason.
Well, one way or the other, he's going to be the guy. I mean, whether fans want them to roll over and lay down or not, they're not going to. No team in football does that at this point of the season. Maybe in week 18, you see them, but they're not playing guys. That's as much as we're going to get. The guys that are out there are going to try to play to win these games. Andy Reid's going to try to coach to win these games, especially now that they have vengeance on the mind of some kind that they can play spoiler. I just wonder, at any point, all the players that were out for this game, and it was a laughable list of how many there were. Does that change at all? Are you especially impending free agents? Are you putting those guys on ice? Do you think, or was it just an opportunity to make sure they're good to go?
I would put some of those guys on ice the rest of the way. I don't know that the Chiefs will, but to split that down the middle. Brian Cook's out there playing through injuries yesterday. You see him sitting on the sideline, and a couple of times he got banged up and ended up right back in there. Jalen Watson was a 7th-round pick. He is 2 football games away from generational wealth. He's made fine money as an NFL player to this point, but he has not gotten his real paycheck yet. That will come in free agency, maybe from the Chiefs, maybe from somebody else, but that's what's directly in front of him, in front of Cook, in front of that entire draft class there. So I also would have loved to have seen Jeffrey Bassa yesterday. I would love to see something from Jalen Royals, although at this point, the state of the offense, I'm not expecting a lot. Those guys just didn't play on offense and defense. I think Royals might have gotten a couple of snaps, obviously no targets. So you're right, Jacob, 100%, and people need to keep in mind, not only if you are on the football field, you owe 100% to the game and to your teammates and to your opponent. If you go out there and try to play at 75% on the offensive line, you're going to probably get hurt, and you're probably going to get your quarterback killed or your brother next to you. You cannot be on the field giving less than 100%. No one on the field should be thinking, well, the Chiefs draft position would actually improve if we that's not an option. That is an option for Brett Veach. That is an option for the coaching staff. So I want all of the guys that have a future in this team, but perhaps have something to prove. I want to see more from them. Nick Bolton's going to be out there against the Broncos because you want somebody who's going to be able to spit the signal to everyone and the play calls. And so it might be better for Noah Williams, for example. Noah Williams and even Jaden Hicks might need to have Brian Cook or Shamari Connor out there to make sure that there is a veteran presence at the back of the defense to keep everybody where they're supposed to be. But ultimately, winning these games does nothing for the Chiefs. Again, all it does is hurt the draft position. I don't need Jaden Hicks thinking about the Chiefs draft position, but Brett Veach certainly is. So the other thing, that injury rundown was not a bunch of DNP rest. There was not coaches' decisions. Right. I don't know. Maybe some of the linemen get a little bit closer to being able to get out there and gutting through it if that game mattered yesterday. But most of those guys wouldn't have. I mean, the receivers in concussion protocol and everybody on IR, this is just the state of the team now. So that they have to fill a full squad. I would be happy to see young guys completely lead the way the rest of this season. And I don't want the Chiefs to lose to the Broncos at home on Christmas night when we have pregame and postgame. I don't ever want to see the Broncos win, and I don't ever enjoy the Chiefs losing. But the most important thing in these next 2 games is making sure you have answers about some of your young players, which is why it just boggles the mind that Brashard Smith didn't get a carry yesterday. You need to see what you have in some of those unknown quantities. Those players on the field need to give 100%. And the coaches at that point are going to give 100% once that opening kickoff is made.
Yeah, it's an interesting time, as we kind of talked about earlier with that kind of stuff. We'll be remiss if we don't talk about this, Josh. I don't know if you're on the same distribution list as the KWCH newsroom, but Governor Kelly's office just sent down a special economic development announcement this afternoon at 3 p.m. in Topeka.
Moved
So
it
what
up.
we're gonna
I
say
think they
about
moved
that.
it up, TJ. I think she moved up the time on that.
I hope she didn't. I saw
It's
3
not
o'clock.
even 3 p.m. now. I think it's gotten lifted up higher at the moment.
Well,
So
I wonder what that's about.
Josh. Anyways, Josh.
That's got to be a sign, like to Kansas's, doesn't it? Like they moved up the time of this. Like now the governor. It feels to me like the governor's trying to get in on some political, like if we're going to do something, I got to be there too. That's what that feels like to me. Because where you're on the Missouri side, I assume. I don't know where you live.
Yes.
What is your take on all this?
I have preserved what's left of my sanity by the fact that I am not particularly worked up on this one, kind of either way, because I was born in Wichita. I spent the first 10 years of my life there. My family moved up to the Kansas side of the KC metro area. At that point, I went to school on the Kansas side and then moved to this place here in Missouri in 2020, and I've been here for the last 5 years. The radio station's in Kansas. My home is in Missouri. I really do. I've always kind of felt a little bit of like a dual citizenship kind of thing because of most of my family's on the Kansas side, but I'm all for Missouri property value going up at this point, right? So all of that to say, I do hope that both the Chiefs, obviously we're kind of decoupled from the Royals in this conversation, but I really hope that they both end up in places that make logical sense. I think some of the options that I've heard for the Chiefs on the Kansas side do make sense. You want the idea of, this like huge home base. They could host Super Bowls and Final Fours and all of that on the Kansas side. That's okay with me. If all of this blows up and they renovate Arrowhead, that's okay with me. I do not have a particularly aggressive dog in this fight. I do think I would like for the two teams to end up on different sides of the state line. I feel like that makes sense if that's the way that it's going to go. I feel like downtown, I am super unplugged from the Royal side. This is purely me talking. Downtown baseball seemed like that was the pitch they made at the very beginning, was to move move Kauffman. I think they probably would have built a new stadium if memory serves. But build the new stadium in downtown Kansas City to have downtown baseball as a 81 game a year attraction and be able to have all of that in the city. And I think I understand the idea of wanting to have a huge facility, which is what the Kansas side would be able to offer to the Chiefs. So I am as curious as anybody to find out what the announcements all are today and how specific those get, how much those are, the ball's already rolling, how much of that is new information. I don't have any. In fact, you guys have more info than me. I am not on those mailing lists. And for my own health's sake, I'm okay not being on those mailing lists. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get on them. Well, I'm curious about this because I know you're a lifelong Chiefs guy and everything like that. The best way that I've described this for everybody that's kind of following on the outside is that it makes Kansas City's in such a unique spot that not every team is, because it's split down the middle, basically. So it's like you can have all this stuff that Kansas wants to give you, and it makes sense to get the new stadium and get the brand new everything and get the Super Bowls and the Final Fours and everything. But Missouri's got Arrowhead. And Clark Hunt's dad brought Arrowhead to life. Like, that to me is the biggest thing and that's the only thing Missouri needs to have a dog in the fight, is the fact that it's Arrowhead.
Right, you have a kind of future versus nostalgia kind of argument, future versus history, if you will, and I think that's completely legitimate. The other thing is, like, I'm not a KU or Mizzou guy, so I never got the extra reason to just really hate the other state for whatever reason. So again, I end up probably disappointing most people because I just truly am willing to kind of be the day walker on either side there. But I completely understand why people on the Kansas side would be really excited about, like, getting the Chiefs, and I completely understand why people on the Missouri side feel that ownership and that attachment to Arrowhead, and obviously they're going to be at Arrowhead for at least the immediate foreseeable future for quite a while still, just because stadiums appear to take a long time to build. But all of that to me, I understand the energy, and at some points kind of the like vitriol is the time where I just kind of need to push back away a little bit and say, all right, everyone's going to get through the feelings of all of this. I know people are going.
I love the fact that Missouri Chiefs fans are saying, I won't be going over there. It's like, it's 10 minutes away. It may be closer to your house now.
The same amount of time away, just a different direction.
And that's, again, I know dating back to talking about Norm Stewart. I know that there's the not willing to spend a dime in the state of Kansas or whatever. Although I was working on a project this summer, and that may or may not be an apocryphal story, but I don't want to fully break that news or discuss that here too much. But I hope that there ends up being a resolution, again, frankly, for both teams, where you can kind of look back and go, okay, both teams are going to be in the right place for them to really set their feet for a long time in their respective stadiums. I'm hopeful that'll be decent.
This has gone on for 2 years. They owe it for it to make sense at this point.
I haven't gotten more confident that the process is going to end up well for everybody, but
I don't think the state of Kansas is going to. I know Missouri made a last-ditch effort. I just get the sense like there's no more. We get to just like be your bargaining chip against Missouri lawmakers. They bet it's either S or get off the pot day. It feels like to me. And I get the nostalgia, and I keep saying that. Lamar Hunt moved the team.
But Lamar Hunt started a new league. Like that's the thing that people are missing about
so,
this.
There's this history with the Chiefs. There's also a history of Lamar Hunt moving the team to another place. So I think it's going to happen. I don't know. I think it's going to happen today.
With that in mind, something I've said that I ought to say here, truly, the thing that matters to me is the first two words of the team name. If they are the Kansas City Furbies, I'll root for the Kansas City Furbies playing in Kansas. I'll do the post-game show from Kansas. I would not be as excited, if we're talking about all of a sudden, Omaha's making a pitch, then my feelings are extremely different. But when we are talking about a commute across the state line that I feel like a ton of us make on a regular basis, I personally am not as worked up about it as many of my peers.
TJ brought up a great point. The keyboard warriors, TJ.
Yes, this is about to say, we're reading my mind. My favorite part of all this stuff, of people that aren't tuned into Kansas, of the tweet that Soren sent out of saying the Chiefs will be expected to meet in Topeka. And everybody's saying, they're going to move to Topeka, Kansas. You got to be kidding me.
That would be probably – I don't think that would be a good decision. I'll say
Or the people that just are ready to dunk on everybody that they'll act like it's in the state of Kansas instead of Missouri. And you've got those people like they've just got it like copy and paste. Like, it's in Missouri, idiot. Like, sorry, guys, your days might be numbered.
Yeah, and again, I end up in both places. I don't really want to hear about the people who are, who will refuse fandom to people who currently live in Kansas. And I don't know that I don't know that Kansans are going to be taking a victory lap, even if this does happen. Like, I don't really need that either. Like, I think the idea of the 15, 20 minute potential commute there, hopefully we can all just be chill about it. We could try.
I love that this is the most that Kansans have ever been interested in economic booms, ever.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kansans want the state income tax and they want the Super Bowl. Otherwise, business as usual. Nobody cares. All right, Josh, we appreciate it. We're up against it. Merry Christmas. We'll talk next week.
Merry Christmas, fellas.
There's Joshua Briscoe. We'll come back. We will get you the latest. The governor did just send out a new announcement. We'll sort through that if it means or changes anything when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story, Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Thank you to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. A lot of people trying to sneak over there, get in a little bit of golf here this week as the weather looks fantastic. I may try to, at minimum, go hit the range.
Christmas Day golf, Jacob.
I know. I don't know. I think the facilities are closed on Christmas Day, but I'm going to try to, at minimum, get the range before work some. This week, you and I, to get everybody off for the holidays, have some extra stuff that we'll be trying to sneak in too. But we appreciate Crestview Country Club. Just had lunch with the wife there on Friday. Menu's never been better, and I mean that. The food is as good as it's ever been. So get over there to Crestview. This is the time of year to join. You will get the best deals right now that you'll get all year long toward the end of the year in the cold weather months. Give them a call. Tell them we sent you at Sports Daily. TJ, so this is interesting and let's talk about the day's events as it pertains to the stadium. When I jumped in there to say they moved it up, it's because the setup for you guys in Topeka is now 1:30 for an event that doesn't start until 3. So remind me what time the actual meeting is.
The LCC will meet at 1:00.
Okay.
So there's I'm figuring. I'm emailing some press secretaries right now trying to figure that out.
Here's what I think. Look, we have seen this stay apolitical almost the whole way until recently, and I don't know what was this 3-4 months ago? We saw Mark Donovan with an open letter, right, saying that we can't really hear back from the administration on this. We're waiting for an email back, and then you saw one side of the political aisle step in and be like, well, if they're not doing the job, we're going to do the job. And then the other side was like, well, hang on a minute, we've been just fine. So I was like, what is all of this? That's where I kind of started to get nervous a little bit.
Yeah.
This is interesting today. So you have this LCC meeting, and we hear about that. And we got to be there. And then what's it, Friday, the governor says, well, we're also going to have a briefing here. And I'm looking at who's on that list, and it's all people, it looks like, from the other side of the political aisle. Now it's telling you as a meeting, like, you got to be set up by 1:30. Setup starts at 12:30. You got to be set up by 1:30. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute. The actual meeting's not even going to be done yet. What are we doing?
I'm glad we've made previous plans to send 2 people to Topeka today. That may have been paid dividends, as we may have to be in 2 places at one time and figure out what that means now. But I haven't thought about it like that. That it definitely is now a Sean logging political story as we start to not become so bipartisan.
The thought of it is everyone wants their flowers today.
Yeah. Obviously the person that sits there and gets to unveil the stadium is the person that everybody's going to remember unveiling a stadium. And that's what
announcing it. And
is.
So you'll have a group of lawmakers and perhaps the chiefs on one side, and then you'll have the other group of lawmakers and the city representatives on the other. And like, can everybody just do this in the same place? Like, what are we even doing here? Like, this has been a joint bipartisan effort. If this indeed does happen, nobody's going to sit here and like give anybody any more credit than the other. Like, they crammed through betting. They got the STAR bonds approved. Like, all of these things were bipartisan efforts. Don't go partisan on us now, which is what it feels like. But I think if you're following along, just like deductive reasoning would tell you, if everybody is looking to get some publicity out of this today, I think, again, like, that would tell me that the chances are pretty good you're going to get some sort of definitive announcement today.
Yeah, it's what it feels. I honestly still, we sit here at 8:45 a.m. To break the fourth wall there. That something, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm not sure. Like, you have a feeling, I think, one way that it may happen in Kansas, but I mean, as we keep saying, like, this meeting.
So
could
tell us what Missouri did Friday, because had you not seen that, I would say it's over. Like,
Missouri basically the new county executive who wasn't there in 2024. He was filled in the interim, and then he officially took over in October, I believe. Phil Lavoda. By the way, I hate how tapped in I am. That's local politics right now as a sports guy, but maybe it's good for me. But they had a last ditch effort basically on Friday. They held an emergency press conference and unveiled that they're going to reveal a new plan. So where it currently sat, they were in a 3/8 cent sales tax that would go to the Royals and the Chiefs to keep them in Jackson County. That's what was voted on 2 years ago, to keep doing that for the most part and kick off all this money to them, do all that stuff. That failed. They basically said, all right, screw the 3/8. We're going to make it 1/4. Taxes are going to go down, and we're going to keep the Chiefs by giving them this much money, and we're going to do it because they're basically not going to pay for the Royals right now. We'll figure that out later. So there was a last ditch, basically, like, we're going to match. And it was, for the most part, they're going to match pretty much. Not a new stadium worth, but they'd match the percentage of what the renovations would cost for Arrowhead Stadium for the most part. We don't know that exactly.
I still don't think it's going to be financially, even if they got it passed, which they wouldn't be able, they'd have to vote on that, and they'd have to get, I still don't think it's as good a financial situation as a new
That's what I'm
stadium.
saying. I think percentage-wise, it probably matches what it would be for renovations, and renovations won't be as much as a new stadium. Like a new stadium is going to be north of $1 billion. Like
Kansas is offering you a brand new state-of-the-art facility of which you have to only pay for 30% of it and don't have to share your revenue on it. Or Missouri is offering you the opportunity to vote for a proposal that's already been rejected, by the way, to have less dollars to renovate Arrowhead.
Yes. I don't know. I guess we don't know what the percentage is, but this is the best deal that they've given the Chiefs, is what we know. So.
No, they haven't even given it to him yet. It has to be voted for.
Yeah, this is the best deal they could potentially vote on to potentially give the Chiefs.
In a vote that was a resounding no the first time around. The voters do not have an appetite for this right now. It is not a good time to go get voters to vote on less money in their pocket. Okay, the Star Bond directly costs voters nothing. It costs the users of the facility in the eventual hope that revenue driven in a sales tax will pay for it. If it doesn't down the road, there are other mechanisms that go to put into play. There's risk involved, certainly, but there's no vote required. Kansas has this mechanism in place to do this very thing. And I think what you're going to see today is it's just too good an offer. Like, it just is. If you're the Chiefs, this means Super Bowls. A renovated Arrowhead does not mean a Super Bowl, right? I don't think you can put a dome on Arrowhead. It means you're losing Final Fours. You're like all of this stuff. You're losing the ability probably for the surrounding area the way that you'd like it, which is going to be far more fruitful in the area that's being talked about on the Kansas side than it would be in the parking lot of Kaufman. Like, you got to hoof it to find a Taco Bell anywhere near a stadium currently.
And then you gotta really watch yourself when you're going into that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. As I learned when I first moved here very quickly, covering the Royals after the game, it's like, can we grab some food? No, not really.
Yeah.
No, sure can't.
Give us 30 minutes, maybe. Yeah. It is. I mean, the number one thing that I've thought about of all this stuff is that everybody talks about the boom that Kansas City is getting and how it's, in 10 years, it could be in the same conversation of the Philadelphia's and the bigger big sports markets is what my mind goes to. Some of the major cities in the country, like Kansas City currently as it sits, like they can't have that real big thing like a Super Bowl or a Final Four come to town. Like, they can have the Chiefs in the AFC Championship every year, and that's helped immensely.
Sure.
But if you want to take that next step and like get the Final Four and get all these people, or if you want to get the Super Bowls, or if you want to get the Taylor Swift concert in January, like that, it's next level what that'll do for you.
Yeah, it does. And it matters, and it's good for the region. And at the end of the day, the region, right, is what matters.
That's why it's a big deal that's why it's such a big deal in Wichita. That's why people in Hayes are getting this news, and it's such a big deal for them of like, you can see a Final Four game 4 hours from your house. Like,
well, if that same stadium was on the Missouri side, it'd still be 4 hours from your house.
We'd be covering it the same way.
But you're not feeling,
that's the other part
the beauty of the Star Bond should be that it doesn't cost us anything in Wichita to have it there. Yet our state benefits from the generated income tax money, right? Like, we will see the benefits. They use state funds to put a new, battery plant somewhere. And we're here in Wichita and we're like, hang on, I don't want to pay for a battery plant in Olathe. Like, that's stupid. This isn't that. Star Bonds don't work that way. Star Bonds are use driven. It's different. Now, again, there's risk because it may not work. I happen to think that an NFL state-of-the-art stadium probably would have a better chance of working than some others. But that's the nice thing as a state, is what's happening essentially in the same place, right? Like, to me, maybe other people feel this way. There's no difference. Kansas City is Kansas City. Whichever side of the state, doesn't matter. You're always in Kansas City. Don't care, right? I could be in Johnson County and I feel like I'm in Kansas City. So it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care.
For the people that make that the argument about the side, it's hilarious to me too that Arrowhead is in the most rural kind of, like, originally rural part of Kansas City, Missouri. It's like, that's the most Kansas thing of all time. It's like, you're not downtown.
Yeah. And so, and look, and maybe this can spur the Royals to get downtown, which also makes some sense. I've said from the beginning, getting both over here, and I know that they've designed the legislation that way, might be too much to chew for the state of Kansas. So if it gets the Royals, I mean, this could be a best case scenario, as much as people don't want to, don't want to see it. Hell, for a lot of the people that you're following on Twitter there, TJ, maybe they say good riddance. The Chiefs suck anyway. They're never going to be good again.
That's
like,
that's my favorite.
Later.
It's my favorite part of irony of all this stuff is that the Royals weren't going to get a new stadium because they were so bad that people didn't want to stomach it. Now the Royals are a playoff team and the Chiefs aren't, and the Chiefs get a brand new dome.
And probably because there's going to be some spite and some hurt feelings, the Royals are going to get a new one too, just so that somebody can say, don't pay attention to what's happening over there with the Chiefs. Look over here. We're building a new baseball stadium. I mean, this could be the best thing that ever happened to the Royals. We want to talk about like backing into a deal. Now they can just walk up to the Missouri lawmakers and say, "You really going to lose the Chiefs and the Royals?" No. What do you want? What do you need? We'll get it done.
My first thought was like, hey, Missouri might lose some professional teams. Hey, they got a new arena. Let's call Adam Silver. Let's get the NBA team in here. We got some revenue to spend.
There should be anyway, by the way, or a hockey team at minimum. So that's what's happening today. TJ will be up there. You'll get there. You'll have coverage, I guess, from two places now for some reason. It's just so stupid. Like, don't you guys all work in the same building? Like, literally, don't they all work in the same building? Why do we need two? Why do we need two different, like, sort of competing now?
Listen. Not everybody is as accommodating as Paul Mills to join from a hospital bed.
Correct. Okay, that is correct. We're gonna have a news conference to talk about the news conference.
That's right.
Be there, but you got to get there before the other one ends.
I love getting emails that are announcements about announcements.
It's an announcement about an announcement. Here we go. Don't pay attention to the announcement. You want to go to the announcement of the announcement. It's all pointing to Kansas. We'll see about that tomorrow morning. We'll have plenty to talk about. TJ's going to hit the road. He's got a big day of reporting followed all day long on 12 News. We'll come right back here. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.